What's up, everybody? Welcome. It's Monday. Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Let's get into what happened today. All right. Earlier today, MAGA was having, and I'm pretty sure they still are, they was having a fit because MAGA believed in a lot of conspiracy theories. And when Donald Trump and his minions got into office, they still had these conspiracy theories about the FBI and all the other legal organizations that the government holds. They were so excited when Doge was cutting it all to pieces and shredding it up, to the fact that they knew that their minions were going to get in there and just rip it apart and expose all the nonsense, all the things they said this country was doing. They was going to expose all the secrets. They're going to probably bring out the aliens and let you see them and put them in a museum and shit. Let you know where all the reptilian people live and all those conspiracies. You know, the Jewish space lasers and all that. And then they got their friends, the Dan Bonginos of the world and the Cash Patels. They knew they were going to go to the FBI and expose all the fraud and everything. They were going to get this information that the Epstein files were going to be exposed. And they couldn't wait because their minions were in there and their minions would never lie to them. Well, their minions pulled a whole fast one over them. Told them that the DOJ and the FBI both, Pam Bondi and Cash Patel and Dan Bongino, all these conspiracy nut jobs came out and said, hey, we're conspiracy nut jobs. That shit ain't real. And the conspiracy people was like, what the fuck? No fucking way am I crazy. You guys said it was happening. I put millions of dollars into Dan Bongino, hot head, light skin, talking shit, always think he's right, but he's all the way wrong. You remember he had that butthurt feeling on Fox when him and Cash Patel, cockeyed Cash Patel, was sitting next to him with that eye and shit, looking over there? Yeah, he was sitting there saying, well, we're going to look into it, and there might not be information, but as far as we know, that he killed himself. Oh, really? People went nuts then. But now they done came out with DOJ and the FBI. I'm trying to figure something out, people. If Joe Biden's FBI and DOJ said that there were actual documents, they just weren't going to release them just yet, and the nut jobs agreed with Joe Biden that they're there, but they need to release them. Donald Trump and Dan Bongino and Cash Patel and all them were making millions off of these nut jobs on their programs, saying that they would get in there and they'd find it immediately and release it. And there's no way that not Cash Patel, but Jeffrey Epstein unalived himself. No way. They said they couldn't find the documentation or the video. It must have been destroyed. And heaven forbid, they find the video somehow. While they've been in office since January 21st, here it is, July 7th, and the video just unearths itself, just a piece of it, showing outside of Epstein's jail cell, and nobody came. But they only showed you a few seconds of it. We don't know when he was unalived, and neither do these conspiracy nuts. So they got a piece of video that they said it wasn't even there anymore. It was destroyed. Now they got it. Wow, it's amazing. That's why these nut jobs are going off on the nut jobs they put in place. They say the DOJ and FBI have officially now ruled Jeffrey Epstein's death aside. I don't know what this app will do, and stated that no client list exists. Isn't it weird that the woman who helped them do this said there was a list? There was a black book You're telling me people who were bribing rich people to begin with so that they can exist, they didn't have any documents to prove what they had to prove. It's weird how Jeffrey Epstein was in this situation before. Remember? Jeffrey Epstein was in this situation before and got out. A prosecutor just let go and said, we don't have enough on him, and let him go the first time he got caught doing this. You don't think that he bribed somebody to do that, or he just had, this white privilege luck that out of nowhere they drop a case where they have stone cold evidence of young girls being molested by him? And Jean Maxwell, or whatever her fucking name is, Jazane Maxwell, that she was a part of it, and all of a sudden, poof, all the evidence is gone. We'll let him go on his own recognizance after raping children. You don't think he had some kind of black book to bribe these people? You just think a judge just said, okay, we'll let this monster back on the loose for our young babies. That's what you think happened? Maybe it's this white privilege thing is more evil than I thought. You really would let out a man that would rape your children just because? Or does someone have to have something on you or put something in your bank account? Because I don't understand how you let a man go that you had dead to rights. And when you let him dead to rights, he went on and had the wherewithal to say, I'm going to do it again. Because you can't touch me. I got out before. I still have this book and this information on all the people who let me out before, which literally means I can go back and do it 10 times as hard and I ain't going nowhere. Well, he got caught. This book or whatever, maybe he didn't have in his possession, but Ghislaine or whatever, Maxwell or his sidekick, she goes to jail. And she doesn't have any information. Whatever. But these are the people, the MAGA believed it. They pushed it. The head of the MAGA, the leadership. Even Donald Trump said he released the information. But he was like, you know what, but some of these people in here are good people and not bad people. We don't know for sure if this stuff is true or not, which means he knows it's there. Kash Patel was on a talk show saying, if it's there, it's on my desk. So it's on your desk, but it doesn't exist. Joe Rogan's show, go watch it. He's talking about it's on his desk. And it was when the time when Donald Trump and Elon Musk were going at it, and he said, that's out of my jurisdiction. When the FBI is his jurisdiction. Elon Musk said Donald Trump's name is on it. It's the reason why it's not being released. He says it's on his desk, but it's out of my jurisdiction. I'm not getting in it with those two people. How is it that you're supposed to be an independent force in this country that goes after bad people, no matter who they are, no matter what party they're in, and when you see one guy saying the other person's in it, it's not your job. What force do you have now with the FBI if it doesn't investigate people who blatantly tell you that people are on a list and you choose not to do it because it's out of your hands? That's odd. But yeah, we got the these here twins here, Tweedledee and Tweedledummer. These two literally out in these streets talking about, well, there is no documentation now, and he did unalive himself, and this video just unearths itself, but it doesn't prove anything. But they want it to be the end all be all. Well, you lit a fire amongst these nut jobs. how do you plan on putting the fire out? By telling them the exact same thing the libs told them. Remember, they hate us. They think we're liars. So right now you're telling them we're told the truth? Doesn't that pull the rug out from under the bullshit? Because what else have you been lying about? But see, ladies and gentlemen, we can't give MAGA the benefit of the doubt. They're stupid. So they're not going to even add 1 + 1 and find out that they lied about this. They can lie about everything. They're not going to go down the path of trying to debunk every lie. They're just going to think this is an isolated incident and that they made a mistake. And then tomorrow they're going to wake up and hate the libs again. And this is going to disappear because MAGA knows, meaning the MAGA leadership, knows that their MAGA followers aren't bright at all. That's why they say they love the poorly educated. These people can't keep logic in their heads for longer than a few seconds. I guarantee you, many of them right now are asleep, not even worried about it. Many of them right now haven't even heard about it. Other ones are waiting to hear about it at the next barbecue or, the lunchroom or coffee, excuse me, at their coffee station at work to have a little conversation. But I didn't know that. What? Guaranteed. Many of these people are not aware of the world around them, and MAGA leadership knows it. They get on Fox, feed them lies. These people watch Fox, lies inputted, lies believed, on about their business. Don't even try and challenge the lies they're being told. Even after, on every channel, including Fox and everything they love, the same people that lied to them and took their money are telling them, you're batshit crazy for this now. We got it wrong. Libs were right. But they ain't saying libs are right. They're just saying we got it wrong. They ain't even saying we got it wrong, to be honest. They just changing the story and expecting these people to agree with it. But they're not. But they're so bought into this. What can they do? Tweedledee and Tweedle like cockeyed dumber right here telling them. Look at Cash Patel in this picture. You can tell this dude looks scared shitless. I done fucked up. See, the one on the left with Cash Patel, the one you see on Cash Patel, this is a picture of him while he's in office. You can tell this man is stoved up. He's so like tight. I promise you, he's got irregular problems. Yeah, he's only going like once a week. Look at him. Tight, stressed. The other dude's kind of happy because he's still at, doing his podcast bullshit. That's where he's got his picture from. But right now, when you see him, he looks sickly. Not because of weight loss or nothing. No, his face is just stressed the hell out. He's out on TV shows talking about, I miss my family. I don't get to see my dog as much anymore. And Cash Patel is always working. Well, no shit. You had a free life to talk on a microphone, eat whatever the fuck you want to eat, when you want to fucking eat. And now you got an actual fucking job taking care of stuff in America. 340 million people rely on you. Before, just a bunch of batshit crazy people relied on you while you was watching football games and all other shit with your little blockhead ass. That's what you was doing. Now you got to work. And you're complaining about it. That's what he's doing out here. Both of these people trying to tell their people now that the Dems were right, but not saying that the Dems were right. And then saying that everybody's lying because even the Dems said there's a list. They just weren't releasing it yet. They were playing political hot potato with this bitch. And these people were saying that it exists and they want it to be released. Then Elon says Trump's on it. Weeks later, it doesn't exist. Poof, it's gone. What list? I can't wait till these people start eating each other. It's going to be ridiculous. Right now, they're mad at each other, but they ain't going to never see these documents. Are they going to give up on it? Or are they going to continue getting more crazy till they take out one of these fools? Because they're like, oh, you're a big traitor. What's going to happen? We don't know, but we do know There's an extreme MAGA nut jobs out there. I'd be worried if I was them. They better produce something. I don't care if they got to put that shit together themselves. They better produce something for these nut jobs, because there's no way in hell you're going to take all their money and never produce anything. Nah, that ain't going to be the deal. They ain't going to live with that. No way whatsoever. All right, so we understand that these men and Donald Trump have done their thing, got a lot of people all stressed out. Americans are like, we know that there's something. We know, because Epstein got, away with it the first time. They didn't let him go just because he was white. He had to have had something, right? We understand that. That just makes sense. Let's move on to some things that happened to this past week. I'm gonna save one of the more tragic things, the Texas flood, here in a minute. I'm gonna deal with what's been going on with these tariffs. Donald Trump was having a meeting, or he had a meeting about something else, but he increased the tariffs, I think, on Japan today, or was supposed to, at least. I didn't get a chance to see any meeting of him doing it, but these are the things he said was going to happen today. But what we did find out is that they promised 90 deals in 90 days. 90 days is up in 2 days. And Scott Bessent was out, and about, and so was Peter Navarro, out and about this past weekend on the Sunday shows, I believe. May have been a little bit before that as well, Friday and Sunday, whatever. But this right here is Scott Bessent trying to backtrack on the 90 days and give us a little insight to what is going on and what's supposed to happen here in the near future. So let's listen to what he has to say.
The president has a reputation, self-described deal maker. So why haven't we seen the kind of deals that he promised in the last 90 days?
Again, he didn't promise.
Yes, he did. He promised it. Yes, he did, more than once. And so did you, and so did Peter Navarro. And I think it started with either him, Peter Navarro, or the other guy. Escaping my name. He's standing right next to Donald Trump. I forgot his name. But yeah, they kept pushing the 90 deals in 90 days. It sounded good, but it ain't happening. Let's go.
Promise this, and when we send out the 100 letters to these countries, that will set their tariff rate. So we're going to have 100 done in the next few days. And
but that's not a deal. That's a threat.
No, that's the level. That's the deal. If you want to trade with the United States, this is.
But that's not a negotiation. That's just
many of these countries never even contacted us.
The president has.
Ho. My man said, first of all, that there was no deal or no agreement that 90 deals, 90 days. We all know that that's a lie. So he said that was going to happen, but now he's saying it's not a thing. We didn't say that. That is you guys, not us. Really. Because I don't remember ever being in a situation where that they didn't say that. It was on every news, even Fox. It was a big thing where they was going to make all these big deals and all this. But he says there's not going to be any deals in 90 days. And then he says, well, we're going to have 100 when we write them letters and tell them that will be the deal. So you're forcing on 100 countries the deal in which you just arbitrarily make with them. That's not a deal. I thought you guys were the art of the deal. That means negotiate with people and then you come up with something that's solid. A forced tariff on someone is not a deal, nor does it make America safer or more sound fiscally, because it makes us look sporadic and crazy. because every one of these countries know how to do deals because they got deals with other countries and they go through it the appropriate way. America's the only one with an orange dipshit that's trying to do something that nobody else does. He is trying to dictatorship or be a dictator to the entire fucking world. He's trying to go after people who've been dictators their fucking entire lives and tell them, I'm going to dictate over you. These people, you're looking at countries that will literally die for their religion, let alone their livelihood. People who would die for a thought they believe that, hey, if my wife ever cheats on me, in the Bible it tells me I can stone her to death. People who still believe in that shit. And you're going to tell me that they're going to sit here and listen to some orange dude tell them. Just the idea of that is crazy. Think about it. At the end of this statement, this man says that none of these people ever responded back to them. They didn't respond to us. So we're going to send them letters, which they did. And then we're going to send them like, this is your new tariff. As if we don't rely on their goods for our country. We're going to send them new tariffs via what? Tweet? Email? You already sent them like an email, you said, or a letter. This shit makes absolutely no sense, ladies and gentlemen. None. I don't get how you just arbitrarily say that we will have 100 deals by 2 days from now because we're gonna write we wrote a stern letter. Sounds very Schumerish. But then we wrote this strong letter, and if you don't respond to us, please respond. Pretty please. We're America. You're supposed to like do what we tell you to do. Could you pretty please respond? Come on, you're making me look stupid. Could you respond to me? I wrote you a love letter, but you won't write me back. Is this the end? This shit's hilarious. How are you strong? Writing a bitch letter. Oh, please call me back. And they ain't saying shit. If they were afraid of us, remember, Donald Trump was the one said, what'd he do? He had a mic and was like, at some little press conference, you should see these people. 90 deals in 90 days. I got people just calling me and kissing my ass. The president of the United States said that out loud in front of a lot of people in the news. You should see these people. They're just calling me and kissing my ass. 90 deals, 90 days. You haven't had 90 people call you and kiss you for shit. You just had Scott Bessent saying they don't even respond to us. How are you all great and almighty powerful? You just like the Wiz. You very much are. All huff and puff, and look behind you, you some coward with a megaphone. That's him, the Wiz, a coward with a megaphone. Screaming and yelling and throwing all this orange juice all over everybody. But then all of a sudden, you find the emperor has no clothes and nothing else. No country is giving two fucking shits about this man's little, tantrum he's having. We look weak. Why? Because none of these people are afraid of us. He thought he was going to just push this pressure around and America was just going to be scared. People are scared of America and they're going to do whatever and he's going to be this great guy. They're like, we don't give two shits about this cat. Do what you got to do. We'll ride this shit for 4 years. We good. We've been around for thousands of years, many of us. Way more than America's been around. We'll just wait it out. 5 years, 10 years. Hell, we'll wait out 20 years. What? We can make it. It ain't like we running on E. We got enough to survive. We have some problems a little bit, but we okay. We'll just call in some of the debt that you owe us, America, China, and Japan. Just give us our money back. And then what happens? No other country wants to invest in America because of this shit. So how you going to sell those bonds to pay off your little big, beautiful bill? Y'all do know they need $9 trillion to sell of these bonds from other countries to invest in America in order to try and pay for some of this shit. And you know these countries are not putting in $9 trillion. Right now, the biggest amount of money that's owed to one particular country is Japan at $1.12 trillion. Second is China at 760 or 80 billion. They used to be a trillion. We don't pay them down a little bit. But that's it. Where you getting somebody that's going to put in $8-9 trillion more? That shit don't even sound realistic. So our dollar is going to decrease as long as he keeps playing these games. You know, right now, Japan and China can start selling off bonds. And our dollar will hit the fucking floor. Won't be that fast. It's a little dramatic, but our dollar will start to drop. Making BRICS look a little bit more stable. And Trump is playing right into their hands to hand BRICS everything they've been asking for and been trying to do. BRICS doesn't even have to work too much anymore. They just wait for Trump to destroy the American dollar so they can just jump in and say, look, we're more stable. You've been waiting on one country and they get one leader and they fuck up everything. There are 5 or 6 countries in BRICS. It can't just be one of us that fucks up the money. If one of us does something, we can replace the other 4 or 5. It's more stable. Other countries start to believe that under Trump, it's a wrap, yo. Why go back to America to do anything? Because we buy shit? Give me a fucking break. They have all the power because they own the shit that we buy. They could literally start charging everybody way more in America, and we have no other choice but to pay it and go broke. Donald Trump can raise the tariffs all he fucking wants. We don't have the manufacturing in this fucking country to sustain ourselves. And they're not being built. So this fake ass, we're stronger than everybody else is BS because billionaires fucked over Americans. American billionaires fucked over Americans and made us only consumers or majority consumers, which literally means every country that produces the shit we need daily that we don't do for ourselves, we're beholden to them. And it is only by the grace of God and their ability to say, you know what, they do buy a lot. Let's just give them some leeway because this is a lot of money coming into us. But the minute they replace that and say, you know what, let's charge a little less and sell more to China and sell more to Japan and sell more to Korea, sell some even to North Korea, our enemies, sell some to Mexico, sell some to Canada, fuck America. They get those deals going. Yeah, we fucked. We may have a big army. What are we going to do? Fight the world? No matter what kind of army we got, there are billions of people on this planet. If they get the rest of the country against us, like Donald Trump and his people are playing into their hands, we can't win a war if every fucking country that even our allies he's fucking with, if every country, including our allies, decide, fuck America, what we gonna do? Bomb everybody? Ain't even possible. Just stupid. Just stupid. So Scott Bessent is sitting here telling everybody that they didn't make the 90-day deal thing. They didn't say that, which they did. Then to say that we're going to get the deals just by forcing whatever deal we want to have or extraordinary craziness so that they can come to the table. Basically, let me raise this so that it gets your attention. Think about it as like a weak guy trying to get a girl. He has no game, but he walking up to her and he gets game. His game is whack. So he goes home and he thinks about, let me write her a letter instead of maybe she just repulsed by me and my looks or whatever. Let me write her a good letter and tell her I'm just a good heart, good loving heart. She reads this shit, sends it back, and has like correction of errors on it. You misspelled this, you misspelled that, and you're ugly. She sends it back. Heartbroken. Dude continues to try and figure something out. He realizes that the house or the apartment she lives in, he has, his friend owns it. So then he goes to his friend and says, raise her rent up so that she'll talk to me. Her rent goes up. She don't know whether she got to move out or what. This fool calls her up and tries to get in touch with her and say, you know what? I can lower your rent if you just go out on a date with me. Just call me back. She ignores him and moves the fuck out. Why do I need you? You're weird, dude. Find somewhere to go. You ain't getting with this. You ain't gonna never get with this. And this fool keeps on trying, thinking that someday she gonna break. She done moved out of her apartment. She done told this dude to stop talking to her. That's what the other countries are doing to Trump. Trump is this weak-ass individual, and his minions are weak-ass dudes who don't have game, that are trying to force people to give a flying fuck about their white, non-supremacist dumbass, and nobody gives a flying fuck. These Asian people, these Russian people, these other fucking countries know brain power they have over our leadership. These are idiots. And there's no reason to negotiate with a dumbass. They're waiting until another person gets in that office and makes a deal that they will keep. Donald Trump can keep on trying, and they're not listening to his ass. Not once have they come to him. You got Vietnam or something like that came with some kind of note. Is it a real deal? Hell no. Any of these things that they got, 1.5 things they said they got, are they real deals? No, they're promissory notes. They're like IOU, crazy childlike things. Oh, yes, we'll do this and we'll do that. But that's not enough. These are supposed to be deals set in stone. These are just options. So Donald Trump is that desperate dude. His whole nomad group, no merit administration are those people trying to get people to pay attention to him. The nerd that wants the girl to look at him, and nobody's giving them a second look. They feel like they are trash human beings. Nobody cares about them. That's why they got this problem with America learning the true history. They'll learn that they're weak and just hateful. That's what this is all about. These people are not paying attention to these weak ass people. These other countries, they're trying to pull off this bravado like they need to talk to us. They're worried about us. We're this and we're that. We're the best in the world. We believe that we're good people, the citizens. But if we got an inkling of a brain in our head, we know our leadership at this point are a bunch of Nimrods. And what? Every country is treating them like we know they are. These 90 or 100 countries he's writing letters to, they ain't responding back. Why? To hear these people say some nonsense? No, go ahead and throw your little baby ass tariff on us. Whatever you got to do. Tell us we can't even sell to you. We'll find somewhere else to go. They're finding out they're not as strong as they think they are. America's strong, but they know the majority of Americans are not behind our leadership. And with our leadership not having the majority of Americans on their side, they really don't have any power. These other countries not abiding by what Donald Trump and his minions are saying doesn't get America hyped up and pissed at all. They get the racists, the weak-ass white men who think that they're better than everybody else just because they're white. They get them all riled up. But what they going to do? Go to war with these people? The whole country? Of course not. The entire country is banding together and saying, don't call these fools. Don't call them. Don't call them. China, which is owning our debt. Japan, which is owning our debt. We say, don't worry about that. We'll send y'all some soybeans. America's soybeans are trash anyway. We don't even worry about it. We'll send you the soybeans. We'll send you some corn. We'll send you this, that, and the third. Don't answer them. Let's join together. Let's unionize. Don't call them. Because you receive cars from us, and our biggest export or import to your country, whatever, is cars, and our biggest export from you is the type of foods that you have. We won't buy your foods if you call them foods. You don't think all these fucking 90, 100 countries aren't talking to each other? It's just they're waiting to talk to Donald Trump and his Nimrod group? Crazy. Anybody with a fucking brain knows that's not true. Japan, China, Korea, all spoke. Already have a deal with each other. You think they ain't reached out to everybody else? This is their moment, their shining moment to take America down, and Donald Trump is helping them. This is their shining moment. They've been wanting to put BRICS in. They've been wanting to make their currency the number one currency. While Donald Trump is destroying us, they got everything, dude. They're playing chess. The countries that are in this type of thing with BRICS and others and support those in BRICS, you got China and Japan that want to support this shit. They own our debt. They sell our debt and go into BRICS. Make it the number one. I'm not sure that they're going to do this. I'm just saying there's options. So why in the hell would I acquiesce to somebody when I got another option? And I know there's all kinds of reasons behind it because these countries hate each other, but they're starting to hate America more. They can't trust one another over these years. But because of Trump and him being in twice and America picking him twice, can they really trust America? This divorce is slow, but this divorce is moving forward. Hence, not responding back to him. Then you got this one idiot, Peter Navarro. Just listen to what he has to say when he's being asked a question.
Why were there not 90 deals in 90 days?
Because the rest of the world has it so good that they're dragging their heels. But
there's not 90 deals in 90 days because these other countries have it so good. So if they have it so good right now, why do they need you? Are you saying they have it so good with you? Because if they have it so good with you, then in these 90 days, why didn't you just turn up the leverage and force them to come to the table? I mean, this shit's just too easy. You don't have to be a fucking genius to realize in order to negotiate with somebody, you have to have something of leverage. What is our leverage? The reason why they're not coming to the table because we don't have the leverage that they thought they had. Peter Navarro, all these white men, they thought they had the leverage of white power and that everybody wants to be with them. Everybody loves them. Other countries knows America's history. They can't stop other countries from finding how weak racist white men actually are. They can't stop them from learning that. They done seen through these racist, weak-ass white men. They done seen through them. They're trying to get America to continue to believe that they're strong by this power trip shit. But these other countries are like, no. Even with Iran getting bombed, they still aren't fucking coming to the table. They ain't afraid of us. They're tired of us imposing our will on them. And other countries are coming together against America. Ones that were our allies. Why? Because we've been trying to have deals with America, and you guys keep electing this dumbass who keeps fucking with everybody's world. Survival is going to have to kick in sooner or later. And they're not going to rely on one country for the rest of the world to survive. At some point, you got to cut ties in hopes that one day we'll stop electing idiots so that we can come back to the table and get a piece of the pie again. But this man is trying to, Trump and his minions are trying to do it alone. America alone. And America alone will be destroyed. No matter how many weapons we have. You can't fight the entire world. Period.
the president will not allow that. That's why the letters went out.
And why should
That's
countries,
all
and
I'll
why should
say.
countries take the administration seriously that you guys are not going to push the August 1st deadline back even further? And that those tariffs will actually go into effect?
It doesn't matter in the sense that we're collecting billions of dollars on behalf of the American people.
There we go. It doesn't matter that these things don't come together the way they should. They said it should. Because they're collecting billions of dollars for the American people. I want you guys to understand, and I know my people are smart enough to know this, but just in case an idiot crawls by and at this particular moment, if they don't listen to all of it and they hear this, one of you MAGAs, they aren't collecting shit from these countries. Not a fucking red cent. When they're talking about billions and billions of dollars that they've got from these people, they're literally talking about billions and billions of dollars they took from you. Don't believe me. For all of you guys who still shop at Amazon, a lot of these online stores, even some of the stores that you go to and walk into, you'll notice that you will have a fee, an additional fee to some of the products you buy because they implemented pieces of the tariffs onto you. So these billions and billions of dollars are coming from the people here in this country who buy products from other countries that provide them to us. They are paying the bulk, and then they're transferring those payments to us with fees to compensate. Now, are they gouging you yet? I don't know. I'm not aware of if the gouging is kicked in. I would guess it has. But from some of the reports out there, the fees that they're adding on are a percentage of what Donald Trump. So if their tariff increased to 10%, you may be paying 5. You may be paying 8. Depends on the people. You may be paying all 10. They may be charging you 20% so they can make an additional profit. But from what they've gathered so far, that they're more on the smaller end of it, like under 5%, even though it's a 10% tariff, they're charging you a little bit under 5%. You can find out for yourself and look at the particular things that you buy and see if you see an additional charge. Or for the fact of, if you consistently go to the store and you buy whatever, bacon or whatever it is that's coming from another country, make sure that if you buy that same product, go look at how much you're paying for it now, and then go look at your receipt that you was paying for it a month ago. And then look in another month how much you're paying for it. You'll start seeing these fees added on to the things you buy on a regular basis. And it doesn't have to be food. It could be anything. It could be the stuff you buy for your bathroom. It could be, things that you buy that you run out of, razors, whatever it may be. If it's being made overseas, trust and believe you're being charged more for it. That's the billions of dollars that they're collecting. It is unfathomable. How often did I watch the news and news clips, Fox and all the others, where they let these people on, whether it be CNN, which I don't watch, but I've seen them on CNN, MSNBC, the clips and so forth, just like right here when this man just said, Peter Navarro just said that we collected so much money. That reporter the next thing that person should have said was, sir, you have collected no money from these countries. These billions and billions of dollars are tariffs, which means they're a tax on the American people and the companies in America that buy these products from overseas people. They're paying this $800 billion. So more of America's money being taxed and put into an account is not to say these tariffs are coming from another country. You are robbing Americans and telling them that another country is putting that money in the pot. Now, if you're going to say that these billions and hundreds of billions of dollars that you're putting into a pot are from another country, now tell me, what are you doing with that money? Because it's really America's dollars that are going in there because we're getting charged more. But you're going to make it seem like you got it from another country. Like it's going to go into this pot and be what? Where are we allocating it to? Because you're already lying about where it's coming from. Now tell us where it's going. Because it doesn't make any sense that you would lie and tell Americans, they're MAGA people, that you got hundreds of billions of dollars because of these tariffs and that they're coming from a different country when you know it's a tax on the American people. It's our money. We're spending more. I thought you guys were supposed to cut money. You're literally saying, look how much money we've been taxing you. Look how much this shit costs now. If you gather hundreds of billions of dollars from the American people, that means you have raised prices, not what Donald Trump promised to cut prices. A little pain after he got in office. We're going to feel a little pain. Well, MAGA and others, you're feeling 800, whatever you said, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of pain because that's your dollars. Not Japan's, not China's, not Korea's. That is American dollars paying more for the products, meaning inflation. You have to pay more for the products. Everything's starting to inflate itself. And you're sitting here talking about, I want bacon and cheese and shit costs more. Now everything is costing more. And there's certain sections in our society that are up and down, up and down. Just like a tornado or something coming, it builds up. Right now, it's building up. We haven't felt the effects of what Donald Trump has done to this economy just yet. It's on its way. With them not changing it, it's on its way. And here's the thing, because of what they've done so far, it will hit us. They can't undo the hit part. The hit part's going to hit us. Donald Trump keeps on postponing shit, but the fact that other countries are trying to make decisions on things, and the businesses in this country, small, medium, and large, are trying to buy and take care of things, they can't tell their investors whether they can't guesstimate their profit margins in the year. They don't know whether they're going to make 25% or 50% or 5% ROI on the product because they got to lower everything so that people can still afford it. They don't know that. They're going all over the place trying to figure it out. And American citizens have to sit here and wait to find out if the hair products you buy or the soap or the skin care or whatever you get, car prices, you got to figure out, should I buy a car now? Or do I got to wait 6 months from now? Do I got to wait a year from now? My car is dying. Now I got to spend more money in a car that's dying because it's going to cost a hell of a lot of money if I buy it now. But if I wait for 6 months to a year when my car completely dies, it may be $30,000 more as opposed to $15,000. So you're trying to make decisions, kitchen table decisions, based off a man who's sporadic. And you can't blame any Democrats for this. This is this man's deal. But they're trying to blame Republicans, are trying to blame Democrats for the things. Peter Navarro just told us basically that this man has brought in, Donald Trump and them, have brought in hundreds or billions of dollars for the American people. And that is their argument. And anybody with common sense knows they have brought in zero from Japan, China, and anyone else. They've only brought in money from themselves. Now, things that we send over to them, to China, that they buy from us, yeah, they buy from us, they have to pay the tariffs for that. But we charge more or whatever. But that doesn't matter. The things that you're doing is costing us because the fact is you're throwing that tariff on us. They throw tariffs on products that are coming into their country that their people have to buy. We throw tariffs on other countries that our people have to buy. That's what we control. And every time I hear this, I am yelling at the screen at the reporter or anchor to tell America that that money they're talking about they're saving, or you not even tell them because they don't feel like telling anybody anything, light into their ass and say, that's America's money. That's American citizens paying more money. That's our tax. We're being taxed more for our product. And that's the money that you're talking about you're collecting. You're not collecting jack from China. Nothing. You're collecting it from Bob and Mary and Mr. Straight Facts, the citizens of the United States, and telling them you're getting so much money from another country, and they're excited about, look at all this money they're getting. It's your money, dipshit. Tell them that. Reporters, anchors, stop asking a question and don't come back with the follow-up of, sir, ma'am, those hundreds of millions of dollars are American citizens' dollars, not China's dollars, not any other country's dollars. It's just a pain, y'all. Now I'm gonna get into a few of the Texas flood. Now, Greg Abbott was out and about talking about it when he was at a press conference and saying his thing about that. And, you know, they're doing their job to whatever's best for Texas. But what I want you guys to understand is that when I'm in LA, California, right? In California, understand that when Gavin Newsom, our governor, was going through the fires, right? And when those fires were burning down homes, unaliving people and their pets, I have friends of friends who lost their entire house by the skin of their teeth. They saved their dog's life, but lost everything else. The girl that my girlfriend knows, her boyfriend went and got the dog while she was out of state working on a work trip, and he had to run over to her place, get the dog. The fire was crazy, and by the time he came down the hill, the gas station from which his car was sitting was on fire, and so was his car. He had to get a hitchhike out of the area to save his life and everything else. So she lost her place and everything in it. And got the dog. He lost his vehicle and everything in it and got the dog and saved himself. Or somebody else helped save him. So I know people who went through it. When all this shit was going on, Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, and all other people involved were busting their ass, was on TV every day. But you know what they weren't doing? They weren't playing golf. You know what they weren't doing? They weren't sitting here trying to blame anybody and everybody for it. They were trying to fight it. They were out and about helping. They were handing out food, and they were trying to make sure everything was taken care of, right? They weren't just at press conferences. They were literally walking around. Now, there were people in this state, because California is a blue state, but we got some Republicans in our state. There were Republicans that were so pissed off that they lost their home that they blamed him for it, Gavin Newsom. And what did Donald Trump and the Republican MAGA people do? They blamed our leadership too. Karen Bass, they blame Gavin Newsom. They even gave him a name, Donald Trump did. They gave him a name while Americans who happen to be in California, who were mostly liberal, but the people who, mind you, were living in that area were mixed with Republicans and Democrats alike. But just because it was a blue state, they were talking shit about an area that most Republicans in this country and in this state actually live at. In these rich areas, a lot of Republicans live there. But they thought, fuck California, blue state, fuck Gavin Newsom, fuck Karen Bass, and they called Gavin Newsom Gavin Newscom. That's when he got his name and title from Donald Trump. When a part of the country that pays most of the taxes that helps these red states, right? These red states were on TikTok and YouTube just talking shit about our state, acting like they were better. They didn't even have the decency to talk about the lives that were lost. They had all the smoke for our leadership in our state being liberal. All the smoke. No compassion. No empathy or sympathy. It was hate-filled hate. Names being called to the leadership. And did Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass cause the fire? Could they have foreseen this fire happen? Was there a source in which they could have known about this prior to it happening? Not only when it was going down, they made lies about we ran out of water. No, we did not. Fox ran it. Everybody ran it. California did not run out of water. The area in which the water had a kink in it, the system, they went and flushed that out, and it was back running within like a short amount of time. And they was back fighting. Republicans that were in the area got on news and said that we ran out of water. We did not. It had a kink for a minute. They cleaned that shit up. Boom, got it back to running. They made so many lies about what was going on in this state. When people had lost their family members, they had lost their homes, some of them lost their pets, some of them lost their horses. No, Republicans did not give a flying fuck about those people. And some of those people were MAGA. Rich MAGA. They did not care. And now in Texas, where Donald Trump and his minions incorporated Doge to fire a lot of people from the National Weather Service, over 600 employees at the National Weather Service were fired, one of which was an expert on this very thing. They made him retire, forcefully retired him, and did not replace his position. This is the guy who has caught most of these water things that have been coming, these floods that have come in. He was there. He wasn't there. He was gone. They fired him. Now, the National Weather Service is trying to cover its ass because they don't want lawsuits, but they need to tell the fucking truth. They were short 600 people. And everybody knows when they came in, they shortened, they fired a lot of people in the airline industry. We started having planes fall out of the sky, run into each other, people dying because they were being cheap. You ever hear that phrase, you get what you pay for? When you cut back shit and you have this cheap running product, you're going to come out with cheap outcomes. There's a reason why when you decide to go buy you something of quality, you're willing to spend more for it. Now, when you don't want something like, you know what, I'm going out of town. I'm going to be out of town for, a couple days. I'll be right back. There's no need for me to take my expensive razors and stuff with me. You know what I'm saying? I can just come back home to that. Let me get these cheap ass razors. And then when you get to your place and shit like that, and you got these cheap ass razors, you gotta, cut yourself up. Right? Because you got these cheap ass razors, you don't cut your skin up and all that shit. Now you got to go to your event with paper towels stuck to your face because you're bleeding out. Cheap ass razors will cause that shit to happen. Cheap ass situations where you cut back, where people's lives are at risk, you cutting back at air traffic controllers, it only tells you you're going to have more accidents. You don't take away from that and put people in that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Well, that's what Donald Trump and his minions did, and shit started falling out the sky immediately after he started doing it. It wasn't happening under Biden. It's when this fool cut everything out. That's when it started happening. Same here. This flood is a natural disaster. Don't get me wrong. But the reality is nobody was alerted this shit was coming. The weather, like the news, they had no fucking idea it was going to be this bad. Since when have you seen the news not know an inkling about what the fuck is about to happen? So you got to get down to the brass tacks of it. Why didn't the National Weather Service have more of information? Well, you got Donald Trump and all his minions out here trying to give you, their understanding of what the hell happened. We're about to watch, what's his name? The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, on, I think, a Fox News this Sunday, give his explanation about what can we do about these types of things, because she just asked him, like, what is there anything that we could have done or what we can do to make sure this doesn't happen again? And he gives his same old bullshit. Same old bullshit answers that they gave when children were unalived in schools and weapons and so forth. Same statement. Thoughts and prayers. There's nothing we could do. Thoughts and prayers is all we got. This right here tells you Republicans cannot govern. A real person that can govern knows what to say in this. These assholes have no idea what the fuck they're doing. They reside on the thoughts and prayer statement to solve the problem and move on. Listen to him. You listen to what this fool has to say. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
state and federal resources have just poured into that area. Is there anything more that can be done congressionally, legislatively to help these folks?
In a moment like this, we feel just as helpless as everyone else does. I've talked to my colleagues there in Texas, Chip Roy and August Pfluger, whose families, that's Chip's district. August's daughters were at the camp. We also had Betty Carter of Georgia, had grandchildren there. It touches so many families, and all we know to do at this moment is pray. Every available resource has been deployed. The president, of course, is dialed in and watching this develop moment by moment as we are, and we'll handle supplemental funding requests as they come in. But right now, they're still trying to do rescue and recovery, and our hearts go out to all of them.
Okay, so your hearts go out to all of them. You have nothing you can do. It's just is what it is. Now, thoughts and prayers are the bare minimum. In that statement, a person who governs is like, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We understand that, there's maybe some staffing issues. We don't know for sure. As we start to do, we got one organization of our people on the ground, searching for, family members and finding the assessment. And we're still out there trying to find people and rescue people. That's that one phase. Our next phase is going to be able to find out how did this happen without us knowing, so that we can build something in the future, or at least try and figure something out. We're going to talk to our staff and try to find out what is it that we could have figured out, or maybe what we could have missed. We don't know if anything is possible, but that's what we do as leaders. We're going to do our best to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again. These are the types of things that leaders would speak. Try to comfort the people, knowing that we don't went through something, but we don't know or assess how we missed this. But rest assured, we will find out, and there will be an investigation, and therefore we will let you know as soon as that happens. We'll let you know when the investigation is going to start, because right now we're just in recovery. But that's the next phase. Then the next phase is whether we can make laws to be able to create a system that may solve this problem in the future, or it just might be something that we can't do, but we will do our best to figure it out for you. That makes you feel comfortable. That makes you realize that you have a leader that literally wants to do something about something. But what is the little bitch ass statement that, oh, we just feel bad as everybody else. We're just as hopeless and helpless as everybody else. You're a leader. You don't have the right to feel hopeless and helpless. You're the one that's supposed to be there to comfort. It's just like saying you got a child and you're the leader of that child, and y'all both have a situation that happens to you that's tragic, and the child comes to you for comfort, and you turn to the child, ain't shit I can do about it. That's what the child could say to you. But as a leader, what the fuck are you saying? Dad, we're going to lose the house and we're going to be homeless. Yeah, we are. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. That's a parent. That's the type of parent you are? Or are you going to sit there and try and comfort the child? And tell, like, you know what? We had some savings. We're good. We're going to stay at a hotel tonight. Babe, don't even worry about it. That's a leader. Daddy's got this. That's a leader. A weak-ass wussy as a grown human is what you just saw Mike Johnson do. Tell the people there's nothing I can do about it. Well, there is. Leaders lead. People who can govern, govern. You guys keep showing the world every time something happens, you're never prepared for it. Nobody's saying that you could have stopped this. That's not the situation. What people are saying is you don't have anything to add to help these people. Of course the funding should come in. That's a given. That's not doing anything but what you're supposed to do. But the reality is Donald Trump and his minions were cutting FEMA. Remember, when Democrats was going through that fire, Donald Trump was talking about cutting FEMA. He cut money from other states that had floods that didn't do anything. This is not the only flood in which this administration has had to deal with. It is the most catastrophic. But not too long ago, there was another one. And he was talking about not giving funds and cutting FEMA. Now this happens to Texas. Oh, they got all the money. They're a red state, whatever it is. I don't know what the other state was, but this man literally is talking about they got what they need, thoughts and prayers. Let's move on. No leadership, none whatsoever. Just like what Just Listen podcast with Walt said, he said, is it me? And it's not you, brother. Does the Republican Party never put in policies to help the American people? You are 100% correct. They never put in policies that help the people. They put in policies that give money back to the people and then tell you to help your fucking self with the little $300 they give you. They think that's helping you by giving some of your money back. And then what? The life costs more than that little $300 or $3,000 they give you. But the people who get this money that are rich are getting back hundreds of millions, tens of millions, hundreds of thousands. It means something to them. $100 don't mean shit to you. When you got a bill that's $500 and you got $400 in your pocket, you just get this money, your bill's paid, you're back to being broke. They know this about most Americans. That's why they don't care about them. And the people who don't care about them the most are Republicans. And trust me, I know the Democrats, independents too, care a lot more about the wealthy than they do about their American citizens who are average. But here's the thing. Republicans never speak about the poor or the middle class unless they're telling you to get off your ass and become rich because I did it, you can do it too. The Democrats say, still some of them say get off your ass and get a job and type of things and all that. But they're creating programs that most of them, 99% of them will vote for that will help you get off your ass in their mind, or will help you have a better life, or will help you, get over a drug habit, or will help you with something of this nature. Republicans have never come up with anything for that. They had a big opioid, not to say pandemic, but epidemic. And they said, we got to help them. We got to figure it out. Then what program or plan did they come up with to help with it? They already had Obamacare, Affordable Care Act. That was helping them. They were like, we got to do something for them. Never mind the fact when black people had the same type of epidemic, but theirs was crack, they criminalized those people, put them in jail, and destroyed their families. But the white people going through it, they need help. I know they robbed somebody. I know that white person killed somebody for the drug, but they need help. Not prison time. They wouldn't have did it if they weren't on these drugs. And it's not their fault they're on their drug. The black and brown, go to jail, do not pass go. I don't give a fuck. What, I don't give a fuck with your family? What, you got a baby coming in. I don't care. But I'm the pregnant one. Well, have the motherfucker in jail. I don't give a damn. What I got to do about it? That's the way they treated people who were of color when they went through their epidemic of crack. When white people went through it in Virginia, West Virginia, of opioids, it would save white people from the big bad drug. Don't say this country's not racist when you see that happening. Thank you for the donation. What was that, 5? I appreciate you. If you think 2025 is going bad, wait until this big, beautiful bill kicks in. For the 99% of us, don't even get wined and dined when it kicks in. I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in a minute. It covers up your name. It just says 5 for me. I was 5 on fire. Thank you. I appreciate it. Covered up your name. I couldn't see it. But that's what we have with this situation here. Now, they made fun of Democrats when we was going through this fire. Donald Trump, or through them going through this, these people going through this through this flooding. Democrats, on the most part, at least leadership, they haven't come up with a name for Governor Greg Abbott, or is it Greg Abbott? Governor Abbott in Texas. They haven't come up with a name for him. They haven't called him, whatever. Gavin got Gavin Newsom when he was going through it. Greg Abbott hasn't gotten a name. They're out there doing their best, we're sure. But there's no Democrat leader saying it's all their fault. They should have did this. They should have did that. Texas, red state this, red state that. They're poor. They should get off their ass. They should have known this. They should have left. They deserved it. None of that shit coming from the Democrat Party that I've seen. Not even from the Democrat, not leadership, nor the Democrat individuals. A lot of the Democrats I've seen today, though, have been saying, I have no empathy. Because they voted for this shit and they knew that they cut everything down and they were happy about it. Now that you see the repercussions of what you asked for, don't be upset that little Mary and Timmy are dead. That's what you asked for. I've seen people say that. I know that is harsh, but hey, that's the way the Republicans acted when Democrats had died in this fucking fire. Mano y mano. I don't have any problem with the Democrats. Some of the Democrats, not leadership, but citizens, feeling the same fucking way, giving them the same smoke that they gave Democrats and liberals. In reality, they gave it to Republicans too, because there were a lot of Republicans who lost their $1 million home in these fires in LA. But they didn't give two shits about it because they were MAGA. Now they want us to feel bad for them when their situation happened. See, Democrats have always felt bad for them because they know natural disasters. Hey, let me give you a little hint here. Democrats, independents, liberals, we believe in science. 1,000 fucking %. It is you, MAGA, that can't put two elements together. You're still trying to figure out what the fuck H2O stands for. We passed that. We believe in it fully. It's you that always questions it. That's why we have Robert F. Kennedy taking over your health, saying some of the most batshit crazy things. I am of the mindset and fed up with a lot of these people to say, please follow whatever Robert F. Kennedy Jr. tells you to do. Take the horse pills to get rid of your flu. Rub some whale juice on yourself to get rid of cancer. Whatever this fool tells you, please do it. Because what he's going to tell you is going to kill you. And at this point in time, some of us are even sick of the fact that you even exist with your dumb ass. Follow him and die. Just go for it. See how you survive listening to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And the rest of us, let's take our medications that we need to survive. Let's get over cancer and fight for our lives. Let them die off. They want to do this. I want to celebrate your decision to take your own life through listening to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Because you will pass away. Listen to the dumb shit that man says. Your kids will get sick. You will have a higher rate of dying. Measles are up way more than they ever been since they were killing people back in the day. Because this man is telling you guys what the fuck to do and you're listening. Keep listening. The rest of us, get your fucking vaccinations. Let them die off. They want to do it? Let them do it. Go for it. Enjoy it. Have a great whatever many moments of you got left listening to stupid people. I am tired of trying to save people. We done told people over and over again, you voted for Kamala, you wouldn't be going through this shit. If you had done this, you wouldn't be going for this shit. If you had put Trump in jail to begin with, you wouldn't be going through this shit. Too many times you keep telling them at this point in time, I want to sit back and relish in their stupid decisions. And I want those citizens who are not MAGA, take care of yourselves and let those people do what they need to do. Because they're the ones who are going to get sick. They're the ones who are going to be crying. And it's time to let them get what they asked for. It's time for us to stop caring about what happens to them. You can only scream in their faces to protect yourself and save yourself so many times. If you want to jump off that bridge without a parachute, build that bitch on the way down. See if it happens. Grab a branch. But we already don't try to save you. We should be tired of trying to multiple times to save you. We already showed you we cared. You said fuck off. And now we just turn around and just let you do what you got to do to yourself. It is what it is. That's what a lot of people are feeling. And I can't say that I don't feel the same way in many ways. I have empathy and compassion. That's who I am. But I'm sick of offering it up And these people keep turning it down. And on top of that, these same people are talking so much shit about people who are liberal, who are going through those same things. When liberals were dying from fires and smoke inhalation, getting sick and losing their homes and their properties, these MAGA people were laughing and calling our leaders names. And we're supposed to turn around and give a fuck about yours. That's why they like to fuck with us, because they know we're going to be good because it's in our nature. They're going to be bad because it's in their nature. And then they try to tell us, oh, look, so you don't care. No, we cared. We're just stopping caring after you keep doing it and don't listen. It has to hurt you first before you care. So we're just going to wait till it hurts you and see how you care about it. Don't ask us to care, because we don't matter. We didn't matter when you was talking about ours dying. Then you don't matter when yours are. Pray for those who try to protect their lives and lost it because they made the right decisions and had to live in a red state. But that is what it is, yo. It is what it is. But Donald Trump was out on his little tarmac talking about this catastrophe. And I want you guys to listen to what he says about it. I really do, because the reason why I want you to listen to this, there is a running theme here that I noticed today. Now, those of you guys in the Bible may have more of an understanding of what I'm about to say. But, there's something weird about it. And I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but I'm trying to figure it out. I haven't really did the research on it. But, let's listen to what Donald Trump had to say at the tarmac about, at this moment when he had this interview. I think the Chiron, the captions about they only knew 68 people had been unalived or killed in this catastrophic flooding. But listen to what he has to say. We'll talk about it on the back end.
Just say this is a 100-year catastrophe, and it's just so horrible to watch.
Are you planning to visit Texas, Mr. President?
Probably on Friday.
That was his explanation of what this was. Now, this came off the back end right before he said this, someone asked him about it. And this is where this man, Donald Trump, said this was Joe Biden's setup, not his. Even though he fired 600 workers from the National Weather Service. And the person one of the people that he fired is the person who would have caught this. Has caught many before in his life. That guy was fired and his position wasn't replaced. And so this man gets on this tarmac. They asked him the question. And he says, this being Donald Trump, he says it's Joe Biden's people, but I wouldn't even blame Joe Biden because he don't want you to blame him. Then he leaned in on this 100-year catastrophic flooding, right? Like I said, I don't know what this says biblically, but something kind of reminds me in the Bible about plagues. Something reminds me of plagues, right? And you know what's so tripped is Donald Trump that I know of in my lifetime is the only president that has been a part of 2-century catastrophic things. See, the pandemic was the worst pandemic in 100 years. 1919, Spanish flu, to 2019 being the COVID-19. Now, here we have a flooding that he says happened 100 years ago. The worst one. Under Donald Trump, the worst flooding in 100 years, catastrophic. 2 times this man has been the person governing when we had a century-old issue in this country that's catastrophic. And both times, this man sucks at leading it. The pandemic, horrific. This one right here, it happened in a state and not the whole country wide. The state did a better job than he did. So the state had to take care of this, and Donald Trump, albeit at this same conference, they asked him, was he going to still get rid of FEMA? And he just kind of pushed it off. But they said, Mike Johnson said they've sent them money and opened up everything. But I don't understand, why isn't he talking about killing FEMA? Because that's what he was talking about when our fires were happening in California. Now it's a red state that's happened to. Oh, we're sending all the resources. Is he saying that that state, Texas, that they handle it bad? Is he on there talking about why didn't they know about this? They should have had this done. He hasn't given Greg Abbott a name because, again, they should have known something, right? That's what he would have said if it happened. And that's what he did say when it happened to us. We should have known better. How would we have known better with a catastrophe that happened in California that no human being supposedly caused? This happened with one of the electrical companies. A spark happened and no American citizen had anything to do with it. No California citizen had to do with it that we know of. At that time, we didn't. But yet, before they even knew what happened, they were blaming our leadership. And here we have a situation where the National Weather Service didn't have what it needed in place, even though whoever is the lead of it now, probably a MAGA person, is saying we did. They had no idea that this was supposed to happen. But no names being called. It lets you know that a president is supposed to be, once he runs his race or her race, they're supposed to be a president for the people, not just MAGA people, not just Republicans. President Obama did stuff for both sides. Hell, Bush did stuff for both sides. Donald Trump is talking about, he even said at one of his little rallies, his rally it was after the bill was signed, July 4th, he said he hated the Democrats. He hated us. So he's not the president of us because he hates us. He doesn't care about our feelings or our laws or our family lives. As the president, you're supposed to care about all its citizens. He said he hated the liberals and Democrats. While we are paying taxes and everything, we don't matter. He showed his hand. We already knew it, but it came out of his mouth. 100%. Good night, Mary Moore, whomever's here before. I didn't get a chance to see you. Good night. I see you, Rude. Yeah, he used to be a Democrat, but Donald Trump was an opportunist. Whatever party was giving him the smoke, like giving him the love, he was with it. Even when he was a Democrat, he was supporting Republicans. His thing was to get, you got to understand Donald Trump's past and his family. His dad taught him how to do this stuff. If you read up on Donald Trump, you'll find out that his dad used to have a lot of senators, both Republican and Democrat, and lawyers and judges in his back pocket. His dad used to get in trouble with the law a lot because he used to do a lot of illegal shit that even his granddad used to do too. His granddad used to own a brothel. It was illegal. His father, he had a business and a brothel. So yeah, this man has been crooked. His family's been crooked, breaking laws in this country. And mind you, his grandfather was an immigrant that came here. An immigrant in this country who had a brothel. Not only was he breaking the law, he was breaking it every night. And not only did he have American citizens as prostitutes and breaking the law and forcing them to sleep on whomever. Yeah, that was his dad, his granddad. And then his dad was just as bad, but he went into real estate and started breaking laws. And he went in real estate around the time where wealth was being made in this country. Donald Trump will talk about this era a lot, but he'll talk about it not from his dad's perspective, but from people who used to be builders who were better than his dad. His dad was only hotels, apartment buildings and so forth. His dad wasn't the big dude. The big dude was the guy, I forget his last name. His name is Little something. But he is the one who started the suburbs. And Donald Trump always envied him, but that dude fell hard. And Donald Trump kind of makes fun of him by saying, oh, I knew him and he was such a great person. No, that was his dad's nemesis. what his dad always wanted to be. See, that guy was major wealthy. Trump was just wealthy. So he was the big dog, and Donald Trump and his father were treated like the trash. Donald Trump wanted to be like them and couldn't. Go look up the history of this shit. You'll see the hierarchy in their wealth. Donald Trump was the trash wealthy people. They were the low end of wealth. And everybody they wanted to go to school with, they couldn't. Everybody they wanted to go to college with, nobody was smart enough except for his brother to get into those particular schools. Donald Trump was paid to his father paid to get him in at the lower end, high end schools. The Harvards and all this other shit he could never get into. He wasn't of that quality, of that ilk. He wasn't smart enough. So you'll see, if you look at his history, it's out there about his dad, his granddad, and a lot of the immigration. They're full of immigration in their family. His mother was an immigrant. His grandmother was an immigrant. The first citizen in this country was his father. And he was an anchor baby. His father was an anchor baby. Yeah. Yet they got all this hate and smoke for it. It's just amazing how hypocritical he is and his entire family is, right? But anyway, that's the truth about Donald Trump. And he says this, this catastrophe, 100 years. We have had a 100-year flood under this man. We had a 100-year pandemic. You know that in the 20s was the last time we had a, the stock market and everything crashed ridiculously. I want you guys to pray that that doesn't happen. But in my heart of hearts, I think under Donald Trump, we will see the same thing that happened in the 20s, where everything crashed economically. Why do I say this? Because he's doing the same things the president did back then that led to 1921, the stock crash. Everything crashed where everybody was poor, scavenging for food and shit of that nature. You got pictures of people, white people, searching trash cans to get food. Yeah. Just people who had money no longer having it. That's another thing that we haven't had in over 100 years. Donald Trump is 2 for 2 on things under his watch that haven't happened in over 100 years. I don't know, but I'm worried about it, just to let you know. All right, let me turn this light out before somebody has a seizure up in here. I do not want that. My light kind of goes off and on sometimes. But anyway, so that's what happened with Donald Trump, and and keep watch out for that. Pay attention to your stocks. I really don't want anybody to lose all their stuff. Whatever you can do, if you see it coming, put your money somewhere else. At least start putting your money somewhere else. If you got stocks, take some of it, stash some of it just in case. I'm just saying, it's just strange how one man who has been a very destructive human being has had 2 worst things happen under his leadership. All right. I was reading an article, and then I went and I saw a clip. And then I saw that this little, I forgot what show it was on. I think it was on MSNBC. One of the news things I saw about what Donald Trump and his MAGA minions think about woke. See, I told you guys woke, the way they use it, is a racist term that's basically saying the N-word, right? If you didn't know that, woke was our term. Literally saying stay awake, be aware. Just like if somebody said, watch your 6, that's pretty much what it's saying. Watch your 6, because you never know who's going to come up and creep on you. Be safe wherever you go. That's where it started, way back in enslavement days and Jim Crow days and things of that nature, to protect ourselves. It's actually in a song a black man was singing about it many, many years ago. And different other people have sung about it since. But that's what it meant. Now, these white racist men decided to take over the term and make it theirs, colonize it, so to speak. And in so doing, they're talking about woke being like, anytime you talk about black history, you're woke. And if you talk about, trans people or gay people or anybody else other than white weak men. It's woke. And then I was like, And I read this article and I said, wait a minute. This is what they believe it to be? Because I never really searched MAGA's definition of what they said woke was. Other than the fact that every time they said it, they were talking about black women most of the time getting ahead, or they were talking about black people getting ahead, or they were talking about black history, or they were talking about, certain things that white people were getting treated like, you didn't care about us because you care about them all the time. So I was like, I didn't really follow that path so much, but I knew that was one of the things they were saying. Lord, if you knew what they think woke means, it is highly fucking pathetic. Listen, highly pathetic. They done stole our term and tried to make it like they're the victim. That term, and they're the victim of that term. When that term was used because black people were and are victims of their hate. I want you to listen to it. I ain't bullshitting you. I'm telling you the truth. Let's get it.
Think there should be a Black History Month.
That particular passage wasn't saying that slavery was a benefit. They was saying there was resourcefulness and people acquired skills in spite of slavery.
The word racism is almost extinct now because we can't discern true racism from wokeness.
We can't discern true racism from wokeness. Racism is pretty much gone because we can't tell the difference between racism and wokeness. I was like, both of them are racism. You saying wokeism, that's just saying the N-word, and racism is what you already were. So something's conflated here. They've really went off the deep end with this. Let's continue.
Wokeness is racism in and of itself. It's all activism. It's all ideology. It's no history.
We cannot perpetuate a lie to our students and push this propaganda leftist agenda, teaching our kids to hate America.
Yeah. These people think that woke is racism toward white people. They think the woke agenda is to get everybody in the world to hate white people. Wokeism is racism toward white people. What in the entire fuckery are they talking about? They stole and colonized our term that meant to stay safe around these racist white people. Because you never know when one of them is going to go batshit crazy on you just because they think they're better than you. They're supreme than you, and that anytime they can walk up you and take your life, which that's what history is all about. They've taken a term where we try to keep ourselves safe and turned it into black people are trying to get people to hate on white people. And wokeism is the same as racism. And wokeism is racism toward white people. I'm fucking flabbergasted with this shit. They have turned racism against black people and a term for black people to protect themselves from racist white people into protecting yourself from racist white people is racist toward white people. Black people are not trying to unalive white people because of their race. Black people are not trying to use wokeism to tear white people down, but to protect themselves from the worst of white people harming them. And it turns out the worst of white people are trying to re-engineer the term, which they've successfully done in many ways, where people who say they're liberals, like Bill Maher, says the term wokeism like it's just like what to say. Even when black people have told him it's a racist term toward black people. It's not toward anybody else but us. It's our term. They stole it, and they're using it to say Black people don't care. Don't listen to their history. Don't listen to what they got to say. Fuck them. Pay attention to us. And to do that, pay attention to me. I'm going to say wokeism is white racism or racism against white people. Holy crap. What next, y'all? What next? Gaslighting to the nth degree. Gaslighting to the fucking nth degree. Thanks again, 5 on Fire, for your donation. What are we doing here? How can we come together when people start making up terms that don't even fucking exist and then telling you that it's racism? No, it's not. Learning the truth about this country should be a pleasure to learn. We understand what happened in the past. But the thing is that people aren't blaming people for their past. They're saying, know the past. We're blaming you for trying to get people to forget it. No, remember it. And know not to do it again. Know what the history of the country is so that you can make it a better country moving forward. You forget what it's like, and racist people will get you to believe that a term that's all about protecting yourself from being hurt from people who are hateful is now a term that hates on the people who are hateful, but you want to say just because you're white, wokeism applies to you and you only based off of race. And you stole that term from people who used it to protect themselves. And while they were saying this term, they weren't saying hate on white people with this term. They weren't saying anything of that nature. It was saying, if you're in a sundown town, look the fuck around. If you're in a town where there's more white people than black, look the fuck around. If it's getting dark and you don't know where you're at and you see more white people than you see black, look the fuck around. It's not saying when it gets dark and you see too many white people, go up in a tree and start sniping their ass. It doesn't say that. That's what racist white people did to us. We're saying protect yourself from those types of people. And they took our term of protect yourself from those type of people to say, I'm one of those people. You don't need to be protected from me. You need to stop thinking that I'm a rapist, killer, murderer when you are a rapist, killer, murderer. It ain't saying all white people are. It's saying the racist white people who are, protect yourself from them. But they reverse engineered that shit. And it's so sad how so many white people who say they aren't racist use that term, knowing that the Republicans think that term is saying that white people are being hated on because they're white, and that's called wokeism. Now I understand how Bill Maher comes to his conclusions, because he too thinks that it's white people being hated on just because they're white. That's why he says it. Because when I heard him speak about it many a times, I never got that understanding from him. I'm like, wokeism is racism toward black people, man. You're just telling people not to listen to black people, even though they're telling you the truth. And the way he was saying it was like he was offended by this term, this wokeism, because, it's just because we're white, this, that, and the other. And I'm sitting there like, where's it coming from? It did not compute. Now I get it. Now I get it. He believes in the bullshit definition of wokeism. That's crazy. That is crazy, y'all. I just want to give a quick lesson at the end of this to MAGA. And they're not going to listen. Of course, they ain't going through this far, but I still want to give that lesson. MAGA, for a hot second. I want to celebrate you guys. Woo, sounds crazy. It's sarcastic, but it's true. I want to celebrate you because you got what you asked for. You asked for Donald Trump. He told you what he was going to do. He lied to you about Project 2025. We told you guys to read it, and you chose not to. The things that are coming down the pike, you think are going to hurt black people and people of color more than it's going to hurt you. And I want you to understand some numbers and some stats, because here's the thing that has been happening to you guys, because you guys have so much hate for people of color. You haven't paid attention to the facts. Now, here's a fact. This big, beautiful bill is going to hurt more white people than anybody else, MAGA. And guess what? It's going to hurt more white people in red states than anybody else. Congratulations. You literally took healthcare away from the majority, from the people are going to be MAGA, and they're going to be white. Why do I say these things? Because I listen to the CBO, you know, that place that Republicans actually rely on and say it's great when it comes out saying something they did will work. And when it says that it won't work, they discredit same CBO. Well, you can go back and look at the CBO and see how great of a record they have. For the most part, they've been really kind of spot on. They've just been a few percentage points off. Not like they've been like drastically wrong. They have been very close. Every time that they actually do these things, they get very close. But you get Republicans telling you whatever and you believe it. These are the same people that told you that, you know, Epstein had a list, and now they're telling you they don't. You believe that? Well, think about this thing they just passed, a big, beautiful bill. Based on this big, beautiful bill, they're estimated around 17 million. The number is 16.9, but we just rounded up to 17 million. People who will be knocked off of health care. Now, I was wondering myself, like, why do they keep coming up with these numbers? 11.8 and, you know, 17, 16.9. Like, where is this shit coming from? Because it's all over the place. Well, let me kind of break that down for you. 11.8 is how many people that this time capsule or time bomb they put together. Well, see, they're trying to be facetious and really kind of like medieval on everybody. What the Republican MAGA people are doing is that in this big, beautiful bill, they threw a little bomb in it. That 11.8 million losing their health care, that won't happen until after the midterms, after you made your vote. And then Democrats are saying they raised your insurance and us like that, but you don't feel it yet. You're like, I didn't feel it. Democrats must be lying, right? It wouldn't raise under the Republicans because you guys are simpletons. So they know that you're not going to research the fact that the big, beautiful bill is the reason why you lost your health care in 2027. And Democrats, you need to get on it and quit being such a wussy and literally tell these people on an everyday basis, not every once in a while, every day, this is going to kick in 2027. Republicans going to kick in on 2027. Republican shit's going to kick in on 2027 so that people understand in 2027, that's when it's going to happen. And it's all Republican. You need to make a song out that bitch. You need to make that shit go viral. You need to put it as a fucking record so that it goes gold and platinum so that people will know in 2027 when their health care dies, it is BBB and Donald Trump is the one who gifted that to them. Just so you know, keep doing that because that's the only way you're going to get these idiots to realize in 2027, hell's going to break loose and it's all going to be because of the BBB. And Republicans did that on purpose. That's the reason they could pass it, because not until 2027 are the majority of these people going to feel it. And that's the 11.8. Now, that leaves you with 5.1 if you're going to go with the 16.9 that the CBO says. It leaves you with 5.1 million people that will lose their insurance earlier than 2027. So that's how they get to 16.9. The 5.1 million, those are the people who are on ACA, not on Medicare and Medicaid. On ACA, the Affordable Care Act, you know, the one that Republicans have been trying to destroy forever, you know, and they tried to do it in his first term, and it didn't happen. John McCain came out and did this shit real quick on him, and then they hated him forever until he died, right? And still hate him in his grave, I'm sure. But that's what they've been trying to do is fuck with the ACA. Well, 5.1 million people in the ACA, you're losing it. 5.1 million will lose what they call the premium subsidy. If you are on the ACA, the premium subsidy is the difference from what you see every year. You'll get a form sometimes. These forms, and I've seen them, it'll have like how much subsidies you get from the government. So let's say your health care right now for you and just by yourself is $150 under the ACA. Great deal, right? Wonderful deal. Well, when you go look at your premium subsidy, they're paying about $650. you're paying $150. So your insurance is really $800 a month, right? Good insurance, $800. You pay $150 for it. Beautiful thing. Here's the problem. December 31st of this year, that ends. They have not promised to keep it going. Hence, December 31st, 5.1 million Americans will lose their insurance, and it will kick up way past that 150, and more than likely, you will not be able to afford it because you're barely being able to afford 150 now. And heaven forbid you got some family members on that. It's about to skyrocket January 1st, 2026. So 2026, 5.1 million are going to feel it. 2027, the rest of the 11.8 are going to feel it. And these are estimates, so it might be more, it might be a little less, because CBO is always close within a few, like a point or two. Okay? So, with that being said, I want you guys to understand the makeup of the 16.9 million people. Okay? By 2027, this is what's projected, that it's going to be uninsured. Guess how many of those are going to be white people? It's going to be around 7 million. 6.7, close enough. 6.7 million are going to be white. 3.6 will be black. 5.1 will be Latino or Hispanic. 693,000 will be Asian. 828,000 will be other, including Native American and multiracial and things of that nature. So by far, white people who will lose their health care. Now, Donald Trump and all these people have always kind of billed the fact that it's people of color who are taking your dollars and these entitlement programs. They always put a black face on it because they know you guys hate us with a passion, even if you won't come out your mouth and say it until he's in office so that you think you can get away with it. But it is what it is. So congratulations for knocking off 7 million white people off of health care. That's what you chose to do, MAGA. And here's the crazy part, that in red states, there are 340 million Americans in America, right? Guess how many in the red states and the purple states kind of mixed in together that voted for Trump? Guess how many people reside in those states out of the 340 million? About 235 million. Yeah, I was shocked too to find that out. About 235 million in the red states make up the United States. The red and purple, so there's ones who still vote red but may have some blue in it. So blue people will get nicked in it, but it's going to be majority the red states. It's crazy that that's around 69 to 70% of the population. So think about it. Out of the 16.9 million that will lose their health, you will make up pretty much close to 70% of it. MAGA people in red states, and those who may have voted red or might nick some of us who didn't. But you, MAGA, poor, and white, 70% of you in red states will lose your health care. Oh, I know you thought it was black people, but wait until it hits you. But congratulations, you hate it so much, you hated yourself out of health care. Oh, I forgot how you guys have literally turned black people the face of welfare, the welfare mom, and snap kings and queens. That's who we are to society. When you think of welfare, they always have a black face. Never mind the fact that welfare was created for whites only and finally later became a thing where people of color could get on. But it wasn't called welfare when it was only for white people. Only when it became for people who look like me, maybe lighter shades than me. But yeah, that's when it became entitlement. And that's when you guys joined in on these racist rich people who wanted to make it seem like this program should go away when you needed it more than black people did. Now, I want to understand how many white people versus others who are on SNAP and in red states, not just white people, because I love people, but you MAGA racist. I ain't got no love for you. I'm relishing in what's about to be told to you right about now, because I celebrate your stupidity. I say, hey, look, go for it. You love this racism thing so well, go for it. I want you to understand with SNAP. Yeah, SNAP. That participants in that, 37% are white. 22% are black. Hispanic, Latino, 19%. Asian, 2%. Other, 4%. There's an unknown 19% that they don't know for sure. Different, I guess, Native and others, but 19% of them. That being said, it is estimated about 4.5 million people will lose their SNAP. Oh, MAGA, guess how many of those are going to be you? About 1.67 million. Close to 2 million of them are going to be you. Guess how many are going to be black? Less than a million. Like 0.99. 990,000. Yeah, you are 2 million, us 990,000. There are going to be 2 million white people that ain't going to get no food. You thought it was going to hurt black people, didn't you? You forgot that black people are smart. We realize we're not the majority of SNAP. Go figure that the welfare queens and kings are white people. But you thought it was black, so you just wanted it to go away. And rich people knew it was you, poor-ass white people. They just didn't give a fuck about you. They played on your hatred, not on your intellect. So now 2 million of you, 1.67, close enough, are about to lose your SNAP and start eating out of trash cans again. Yeah. Congratulations. I hope you're happy you won the prize of dipshit of the year. You like it, don't you? I don't know if you're going to like it, but I like it because I want to see pictures of you digging through trash because you asked for it. Go on your hunts for leftovers. Share with the rats because you did this to your people. You did this. You voted for it. Celebrate. Why be mad? Why be angry? I ain't pissed off. I'm happy for you. You got what you asked for. I mean, how often do you actually decide I'm going to bet against myself and when I win, I should be happy? I mean, you won. Why be mad? I want to celebrate in what happens. Right? You want to celebrate when people win stuff that they want, right? Yeah. So they got you to believe that it's mostly black people and people of color. And when you add up black, Latin, and Asian, all of them together, you get to close pretty much where white people are equal to that. So you got to add up people of color to kind of surpass how many white people are going to do it. Wow. Yeah, rich people calculated the fact that you guys were going to get hurt. And what's so sad about it is not just you're going to be looking in trash cans. Many of you are going to pass away. Many of your kids and family members, because of this decision, are going to pass away. I lost my sister in the last one, the pandemic that Donald Trump did. Yeah, it's sad. But it is what it is. I didn't vote for it. She didn't vote for it. But we were casualties of this man's decision making. It's going to happen to you. I guarantee it. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you're going to have to deal with it like our family dealt with it. Right? But you're the one who chose the death. So you actually wanted it to happen. We didn't. We fought against it and still lost. You're going to fight it. What are you fighting for? You won't fight against it. You will celebrate it. So don't ask people to help you with the funerals and asking people to give you money. Don't do that. Start saving up right now so that you'll have money for that when it happens, because it's going to happen. and you asked for it. Don't get pissed. Celebrate your choices. You're not going to have access to healthy foods. You're not going to have access to the medications you need. You're going to be on TV crying and moaning. And to be quite honest, I want every news station and whoever interviews these people, your first question should be, did you vote for Donald Trump? And if they say yes, second question should be, are you upset with your vote now that you're in this situation? If they say no, I mean, they say yes, they voted for Donald Trump, and no, they vote for him again, why do we feel? In the conversation there. What you're going through is what you asked for. Why should we care? Because the caring for you started when we chose to read Project 2025. When we cared not only about our own lives, we cared about yours, and we made content saying, save your own life. This man has plans to destroy you and yours, and they don't care about you. We made those videos. We screamed loud before you made the vote. You chose to stay ignorant. You chose to say, fuck whomever's going to pass away in your life due to this man's policies. You didn't read it. And now you want those same people who tried to warn you to have sympathy and empathy. Well, we had it, and you told us to fuck off. Now we're supposed to have it again? It's kind of weird. And I know many of us will, because we're just good people. But some of us are tired of trying. Some of us don't want to seem desperate to try and get these people on the right track, seeing as how we already tried over and over and over again. And we got the finger, we got called names, and we got labeled, and just trying to care for them. So when does the caring end? For some of us, it won't, because we just have those bleeding hearts. For others, it's over. It's like you finally realize that that marriage is not going to work. You love the person because they're a person, and they got a heart. They bleed like we bleed. But you know that relationship is over because it's rotten. It stinks. It reeks. But your heart still feels for that person. You don't want nothing ill will to happen to them. It's kind of like what I feel about MAGA people. You guys don't care about yourselves. And even when we tried to hug you and give you love, you said, fuck off. And now you're asking us to have empathy and sympathy. All empathy and sympathy out for you. For me, a lot of my followers still have it. But for me, it's a wrap. I ain't got it. I got it for those who care about themselves. They didn't choose the bad decisions for their lives. They chose better decisions. And they just happen to be on the opposite end of too many people who made bad decisions. You had other Republicans you could have voted for. Nikki Haley, a bunch of others who did not plan to do what Donald Trump planned to do, and you still chose the worst one. That's up to you. And I have no empathy or sympathy anymore for it. For those who lost their lives in this thing, I pray for you and your families. But for those who were not MAGA, the ones who were MAGA, you knew what you were doing. And you wouldn't give a shit right now if this was a bunch of Democrats dying in any kind of tragedy. You wouldn't. Because I know, because you didn't care about the ones who died in California where I live at. You didn't care about those who lost everything. You guys were making fun of our leadership's names, calling them out, putting them through stress while they were trying to help get these fires out and organize. Every day they was having to come into the news to combat some lie that you guys were putting out there about what we were trying to compete, what we were trying to get out of. So we're trying to compete with your lies while trying to save lives. You took a lot of our leaders away from their jobs just to cater to your lies. So that told me you don't care about them or us. It's time you feel your own medicine. I pray for those who lost their lives and their family members. The babies didn't have nothing to do with this. But the leaders, you guys had a lot to do with this shit. The Donald Trump, a lot to do with it. Republicans who decided to vote for this trash group of people, you had a lot to do with it. And I ain't got nothing else to say for you. Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Definitely. I hit you up and put you as a mod. I appreciate it. Did I do that shit now? I'll add as a mod. Let me do that. I'm trying to do that. So I had a heart condition just diagnosed, and the lack of health care may harm me. I'm also on Medicare, but there are cuts to that too. I'm praying for you, Rude, and the Planet Janet. I got friends that are on Medicare, and I know they're going to be hurt. Like I said, we voted the right way, and we're going to get hit with it. Our people are going to get hit with it. I got nothing but prayer and love for those who are going through that. Personally, I think that Democrats and billionaire Democrats and all that, you guys need to start a fund for those who voted the right way to be able to help them, that they can go get monies to help them health-wise, because they did not vote for this. They did not do this to themselves. The Republicans did. And Republicans should rely on these MAGA people to donate to them to take care of their health care plans, because they're going to lose by that. Like, again, almost 2 million of them are going to die. Not die, but lose their health care and at risk of losing their lives, depending on what they're on. So Democrats, if you're listening, leadership, you guys better stop asking for money for your fucking elections and start asking to put a pot together for your fucking voters who did not ask for this, so that they have a fund that they can go to be able to provide for those who voted the right way, who didn't deserve this, who needs their medication. You need to figure that the fuck out. When you start to lead without having the government lead and have the people help to do it, then the government is an added process. And when you're not in power, you still have some kind of power. Start something on the side for the people that are Democrats so that they can get monies. Some way, somehow. You got the laws, figure it the fuck out. Because they should not be a part of this. Those MAGA, yeah, let them do what they got to do. Don't give them a fucking dime. Let them do what they got to do. They chose this shit. It is not our duty to keep trying to walk these grown-ass babies around and teach them simple shit that they should have learned in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Donald Trump and these MAGAs not knowing that tariffs are taxes on people after being told a fucking 1.5 billion times that it is. That's not our job to keep teaching them on that. It's our job to let them fall and let them die off, because they are going to kill themselves with these ideas they have. They don't make sense. They're highly destructive. And us Democrats and liberals and people, even Republicans with fucking common sense, you got to figure out a way to be able to help the least of us when they have health issues. We got to create something outside of government, but by the people. Because relying on that bureaucracy bullshit, that's a thing of the past. We got to figure something out. And that's why I say the people, we got to figure something out. We the people, fuck this government shit. When you get a tyrant like that in office, the people got to come together. Stop relying on the government because they can't lead. Donald Trump couldn't lead his way out of a fucking bag with multiple holes in that bitch. He couldn't get out. So the people and Democrat leadership, you guys got to think of something that, like I said, quit asking for fucking money to run for elections. Ask for money to set in a pot that is supposed to help your citizens who are going through these crazy ass laws. Create something on the side where they can put money into and be able to, do something. I don't know. I don't care if it's a nonprofit. I don't give a fuck what it is, but become a leader that way, because you can't force these idiots to give a fuck. But you can figure something out that people who do give a fuck can put money in and be able to help out their citizens, because this should not happen to good people like Rude and the Planet Janet and others who are going through this. You feel me? That's the way it should be. Good people helping out good people. Because I honestly believe the majority of us are like that. Now, when I said earlier that 70% are in red states, I wasn't saying 70% are Republicans. Again, that is red states. There are a lot of black people, a lot of liberal people in these red states that love these red states and never win. I grew up in a red state in Indiana. I voted Democrat my entire life. I knew hundreds of people who voted Democrat. I'm not saying that they're not Democrats there. So at 235 million, that are in red states or purple states is not just Republicans. So the reality is, though, they're the ones that are there. Like, he'll give you an understanding. In Western Virginia, 85% of the West Virginian people are will have Medicaid or Medicare of some sort. Well, those people, 85% in one state, and the majority of those are white, and the majority of those are Republican. 85% of the population of West Virginia. So that state alone, a crap ton of white people are going to lose their health care. Republicans. Just to give you that understanding. It's just horrible. It's horrific. So let's see if I can go back. It's a horrific situation. That's why I've always said, black, white, Latin, Asian, I don't care who you are, the people who are good people need to come up with ways to help good people. Because us relying on this small percentage of hateful people, that's why they're in office. The hateful people in this country want to go back there. If you go and look up like how many hate groups have been devised or have been formed under Donald Trump, you would see there's a graphic out there I saw earlier today. I don't know exactly where it's from. I would have got it if I could have found it again. But there's a graphic of all the hate groups that have formed under Donald Trump in these past almost like 10 years. You would be amazed that they got dots on the American map of the United States. There are so many fucking dots, it's ridiculous. That many organizations have formed on hate alone of black people and people of color. It's not a hate group for white people. I mean, for against white people. It's against people of color. A crap ton of them exist now. Way more than just the KKK. Ranging from very violent to people who just, say violent things, hateful things. Go look it up. It's insane how much it's grown. And we keep saying it's not a racist country. If it's not a racist country, how are these organizations popping up? And who's funding them all? These people live in poor states, some of them. How do you have funds when you can't even pay your bills? You're living check to check. Rich, racist people are funding these organizations. Just saying. Hard head makes a soft behind. Yes, I've heard that, Vera. No billionaires. I feel you. As wealthy as it is, no one should go hungry. No one should be homeless. And everyone should have health care. There are no excuses for this country the way it is. I agree, Rude. I agree 100%. It should never be like it is. And there's no reason for this to keep going on. And again, it has to be the people that rise up. I understand that not all of us are going to agree on certain things, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't start to try to find out what we do agree and don't agree with. You know what I mean? Like, there are going to be people who don't like certain aspects of life. I don't believe in, I don't know. I'm not going to make up stuff because I don't want to just make up some crazy division, but I don't believe in A. And then this person over here is like, I don't believe in B. And it's like, okay, well, I believe in C. Okay, then we agree on C. A and B we don't agree on. Let's focus on C then, right? And then we can go to D and go to E. If you don't like F and G, go to H. It's not that fucking hard. And again, we know we're not going to agree on everything, but let's start focusing on the things we do. One road at a time. Let's solve a problem. We all got issues. Let's start solving them. And that's a part of what I'm doing with it. I'm going to start another segment. I'm starting a new YouTube channel, and it's focused on just solutions, or problems and solutions. That's what I'm good at, and that's what I'm really passionate about. I love the truth, but I love the truth, and people bring me their pain. I love to solve them because I think we need to be focused on each other. We're here for that. That's the reason why we're here. We're not here just to be alone. This world is a we thing. It's not just a me thing. It's a we thing. We are all dealing with the same things in life. Trying to find where happiness and peace, love, respect, all these different things are something that pretty much all of us are seeking. There are so many that just hate on people because they're different. And when you really pay attention to it, we're more alike than different. Right? We're more alike than different. So that's what I'm focusing on. It's called Avid Solutionist. And we're just going to have fun talking about the problems and then coming up with solutions and being a part of the solutions that of the problems we face. And no matter how big or small, if it's a personal problem you're having with, and it doesn't have to do with all of us. So bring it up and we can try and help find solutions, or at least avenues that you can have, or even offer you resources that we may know. It's time we stop dealing with the pains by ourselves and start helping each other, even if it don't cost us nothing but time and a few minutes to say, hey, I went through this, call this resource, and it may solve that problem for you. Amen. You know what I'm saying? That should be simple. And that's what Avid Solution is going to be about. And I want to make it fun and enlightening and, a part of, relieving the stress, relieving the pressure. First, we got to air it out, and then we got to try and fix it up. All right? So that's what we're going to focus on coming up. My new YouTube that I'm going to build. It's not out yet. You won't be able to find it. I'm behind the scenes building all the stuff for it. I'm very happy for this kind of like, still Mr. Straight Facts, but I'm going to have this somewhat transition to have this other show, which is going to run side by side. This will be always telling the truth about the day, but that other one is going to be like telling the truth, but finding solutions, and come with the mindset of solutions, please. Please come with the mindset of solutions to that show, because I want to hear what we have to say. We can be upset and moan and groan about it, because that's just how the solutions come. But then after that, how can we solve that so that we don't go through that same pain tomorrow or a week from now, and that anybody that we care about can either watch the show and learn from you or me how to solve that problem. And they may not have the funds or the ends to go to some counselor or go to some consultant, but they can hear it through your brilliant voices, your intelligence, your wisdom, and be able to apply it to their lives and fix the problems, no matter what it is. Medical, cars that they have problems with, anything. I don't care what it is, whatever's on your heart and it hurts, then we want to listen to it and help fix it, help mend it. And if we can't, at least you'll get loved on for a while, for a few minutes or so each show, to help you through it and get some advice or something, right? If we're not here for each other, then we're tearing each other down. If I'm not for you, I'm against you. That's what I feel like. And so when you come to me, I'm for you until you show me otherwise. You feel me? So that's the way I look at it. The other one, Avid Solutionist, is coming up. That's going to be fun. Reach out to me on my Discord when you have time. Most definitely, I will. Not tonight. I got to get something to eat and do some things, but I'll try and look it up this week. I got a lot of stuff going on, but this week, most definitely, I appreciate you. Appreciate the donations. It's not working right now. The Zelle's not working, Alice. Thank you. I'll look it up. I don't know what's going on with it. I'll go check it out. It should be fixed by the end of the night. I'll work with it while I eat. But yeah, thank you. I will check it out. And make sure you have the information down right, because I may have written it down wrong. I'll look at it right now, because it should be fine. But I'll look at it and see the support banner is coming up now. Zelle is AE Weaver at straightfactsnochaser.com. That should be it. If that's not it, I would definitely find out for you and send it to you personally. But I thank you guys for your donations, your love, your positivity, your energy. That I love the fact that you guys love facts. I love the fact that you check the facts and you bring them and you tell each other about them. This community, I'm excited. I can't tell you how much it is that I believe that it's going to continue to grow. I know that this show is more abrasive for some people. They don't like cuss words or have all these different things. That's who I am, but I'm not one dimensional. That's who I am on this show because I can't stand liars and I will lie into your ass. There's no kindness to lies for me. If you have the hatred and vitriol to look me in my face and tell me a lie, you're not getting, oh, but why do you lie to me? No, it's going to be like, fuck you for lying to me. You wasted the energy to lie to me when you could have told me the truth and we could be working toward a solution together. Where we could be looking at, trying to fix it. You're trying to dig an even bigger hole. Fuck you. You're wasting my time. That's the way I feel about you. But if you come to me with love, and that's what I'm going to do on the other show, then I want to provide what I really have, the passions that I really have. And that's to love on people and to fix problems. I'm an avid solutionist. I came up with the term. It is so true. Anybody who knows me knows I come up with plans and strategies that nobody's even heard of. It's a God-given talent. And the reason why I do it is because the way my brain works, it's a puzzle. I keep looking. It's like a maze. I keep going through it and I hit a brick wall and I turn around and be like, oh, how can I fix that? And I keep doing it until I get out of that problem. I say, this solves it. And boom, I offer it. Whether you take it or not, that's on you. But what we do, and what I know there's more people than me that do this. So I want to be able to create this community of solutionists, people who are so avidly passionate towards solutions that you create a whole new atmosphere around you. People come to you for solutions and not just their problems. To me, that can help mend the problems that we have in this country of always competing. If I show you that I care and love about you and willing to spend time to help you solve a problem, then maybe you'll give a damn about the next person and the next person and realize that it's not a me world, it's a we world. We're in this together. And if we're not trying to solve problems for each other, we're trying to create problems for one another. And that's not the way it should be. That's why I believe we are the way we are today. This doggy dog shit is all about how can I create a problem for you so that I can skate by and pass you up or pass you by and not give a fuck about what I left behind, the wreckage behind me. No, I want to care about whatever I can. Boom, right then and there, do the work of whoever created me. And that's who I believe wants me to do that. I got that gift. I'm going to give it as much as I can on another show. And you'll get to see that part of me. And, most people have seen it on some of my Saturday shows, my Saturday, what's it called? Zooms about helping. So you know that's in me. So anyway, I will reach out to you, 5 Alarm Fire. Thank you guys, my people who are here, that my members that help grow this, and will hopefully go over to Avid Solutionists once I launch it. That is, thank you again, Rooted in Planet Janet. Swift returns, as always, for a great conversation. You're welcome, Swift returns, and thanks for the chat for always being so receptive, supportive of each other. It makes for a great place. I love that, Swift returns. One of the things that I've realized being in the social media game, because I haven't been in it for like fame or anything of that nature. I've been in it for like getting the truth and loving the truth and finding people who love truth so that we can pretty much love on each other and make the world a better place, and rip into people who lie to us, because we can't move forward if someone's always trying to take us back. So if we're always in that phase of helping, we start moving forward together and don't feel any threat from one another, always feel in love. I find out what energy you give, you receive. And in this room, so many people love one another, and they're looking out for one another, and they're giving each other information, and they talk to one another. And that's the way I always say, even my TikTok shows, it's the exact same way. The energy you get, the energy you give, the love that you give, you see through all the F words. You see that I am passionate. You see through all the talking shit. I am passionate about getting to the truth, and I don't like it when people try to hold us back with the lies. That's what I care about. And when I see people like yourselves in this room loving on one another, every one of my rooms are like that. Whether I'm doing mental health, whether I'm doing old school music, all of you guys are like that. And I appreciate it. It gives me so much energy to see people who are in love with the truth as much as they're in love with life. They're in love with helping each other as much as they're in love with being helped. So it's a beautiful thing. Thank you guys. You guys have a great night. 5 Alarm Fire, appreciate you. Who we got? Dennis Petro, thank you. Appreciate you being a member. Someone give you the membership. Alice Early, as always, much love. I set up that Zelle. 5 Alarm Fire, I'll get in contact with you through Discord this week, I promise. Thank you for being here, Demetrius. I see you. Michael McCullough, I appreciate you. Who else we got going back? Vera, thank you for being here always. Thank you, Dimitri. I appreciate it. Sir Fire Drew, appreciate that. Always appreciate it. Have support. I'm disabled, so I get benefits as a single black man. Getting those benefits was one of the most intensive and time-consuming process, and they were constantly looking out for fraud. White folks, damn, yeah. I'm sorry, brother. Praying for you. Again, I'll keep praying and talking about solutions for that. That Democrats, we need to put our foot on their neck. Leadership, I'm not talking about the people, on figuring out a way to bypass this and still help get people medication and some help with their health care, with people who can donate a little bit, for those who can do it. You know what I mean? People who are wealthy, people who have making a few $100,000 a year. You can put something aside, try to help people until this thing is fixed. We can try and figure that out. It's not a guarantee, but at least we can start talking about it. I'm one of those people who thinks if you speak it, you can speak it into fruition. So speak it to life. So I always speak good things about that, and also I speak about people stopping things, and hopefully it'll stop too. And everybody else, let me see if I got anybody else who came in here that I didn't say hi to and shout outs to. I don't want to not give shout outs. Almost there at the top. Give me a second. If you got to go, you got to go. Have a good night. Be safe. But this is my responsibility for those who support me. I've got to give you shout outs. Mark D, appreciate you, brother. Good talking to you. Governor Hot Wheels. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We talked about earlier. As we continue down this path, let's see here. I see you, Azure. I see you. Who else? Oh, Lynn McClary. Thank you very much. It's a member. Dennis Petrol. Oh, they got your member. Gussie Young got the membership. Thank you. 5 on Fire. Possum of Antica. Thank you very much. Cynthia Johnson. Michael James. I'm sorry. Lynn McClary. I think I said that before. It's okay. And Anna Jeskowiak. I messed it up, but I'm sorry. But Anna, thank you. Consura's Balanced Way Wellness, thank you. Kitty Reefer, thank you. Chuck Johnson, thank you. Thank you again, 5 on Fire, for the memberships. I appreciate 10 memberships. Let's see who else we got in here. Sorry. As we continue to give love, that is all the people. So thank you guys. I see you, Vera. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. We will see some of you guys on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Around that time, I do this every day, and we'll continue to talk about things that happen. I pray that things get better, as always, but I also look out for the positive show that we're going to have, where we're going to provide solutions for people. We're going to love on people. We're going to bring people up, and hopefully, my vision of this is being able to, hopefully, if it blows up, to be able to have a space where I can invite people and solve their problems on a set. You know what I'm saying? That is who I really am. Loving solutions. That's what drives me more than anything. That's what I wake up and am excited about on a day-to-day basis. How can I solve a problem that we all face? And I love that. Well, I could die doing that for the rest of my life. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. As always, I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll see you when I see you.